of an underlining on the Granger in the gold lane. What they want to play for pickoff, because Jushin is not as great because her damage isn't a burst type of mage. She's more, DPS, I would say, in a sense.
Yeah, no, we were kind of cobbling together what the concept was as we were going, and it seemed like just line them up for Kyle, line them up for Marco, and if it didn't work that way, then they scramble. So yeah, I think I agree. It's just, it doesn't matter what side, and there it is. ONIC does end up on blue. It's more of like, get a clearer concept. I'd say chemistry and execution aren't much of a problem for Team Falcons. Just,
Yeah.
if it's not clear, then they just suffer.
I think, I don't know. I think it is the ideas coming in from Trevor, coming from Team Falcons, that there are some... I don't want to say anti-synergy. There is somewhat of a concept of being able to kind of peel very, very slowly against a composition, but I don't think that they were ready with how resilient that front line was coming in from ONIC. Because with no real burst, it's like, oh, I get you down to 50% HP. That's not enough.
It was so resilient. Oh my god. I truly believe something came out from these players' mouths. Like, why are they not dying? They're enjoying this.
And we saw that even from like the first few minutes of the game as well. And they did not stop.
They threw like 16 ults. It's like Rehota's like finally dead.
But Badang banned by ONIC.
I think this is a good ban, because again, it did give them a couple of problems. It made the engages really hard, especially if you want to kind of, leg sweep them, get to their anchor straight away in few, but that's under the assumption that they want to play a composition designed around few being the one who kind of stands tall. In the meantime, though, let's see what this first pick is going to be. The Kalia, the Jushin, as well as the
Fanny's open!
You're right! Fanny is open, and ONIC happily obliged. The Falcons, they could just go for the Cho here, or look for that, mid-prio EXP, evade, insta-take blue.
Yep, no. Despite the Granger and Harith being open, Team Falcons, they don't pick the best heroes, they pick the right heroes. The heroes that will compromise Kyrie's cable swing in, and they do so in two roles, in Roam and in the gold. Because look, how often does this happen? That the Harith and Granger open, you don't pick them? It's because of that singular hero that disrupts everything, that forces you to pick something else. It's the Fanny.
It's a lot safer. It's definitely, I think, the right pick. But guys, I just want to put it out there once again. We have not seen Fanny Kyrie in a long time. Being first pick, there are so many ways to work around it, and I'm fearful for that, and I'm concerned for that.
I have no doubt for the Breaker of Chains, the Hydra sisters, he will kiss your mother on the lips, Mr. Kyrie Targaryen. He is a monster in the jungle for a reason, a superstar import, and I still think that he can hold up to that name, even if his hair changes any other color. However, I am surprised that ONIC did not want to start locking in their marksmen a little earlier on. I guess they don't want to, double down on getting rid of both the Granger and as well as Harith, or maybe put that as a question for Team Falcon so that Sans could have an easier time.
Yeah, so here you see another round of not the best hero, but the right hero for ONIC. You're right, that they could have picked one of the more high-prio gold laners, but instead they go for the heroes that support ONIC's overall strat. This is what we want to see. This is what they did in game one that trumped Team Falcons, and now Team Falcons close off with the first phase by picking a hero that's just good overall. There's a Suyo. Now banning out these pain points, Team Falcons take out the Sicilian. I'd reckon ONIC are going to crack down on mid as well.
Yeah.
And it does make sense, right, the Sicilian being banned out, because technically Team Falcons, if they want to pick it up for themselves, it's not as safe, especially with the Fanny now in the picture for ONIC. So still something that ONIC could have picked up. And they want to also underline that they have already that early game pressure, right? The Jawhead and the Hilda is going to be very aggressive in the early stage of the game. Mid-prio is also going to be a problem. So I'm expecting another mid lane ban coming in from Team Falcons.
So they would rather let ONIC kind of decide on what their marksman is going to be. I mean, Team Falcons only has so many bans to go with. They could go 1-1 here. I think at least for the early Moskov pick, it does make the Harith kind of like, ooh, gotta be a little careful in the lane in comparison to things like Granger, for an example. And there's still cross-map plays, which is accessible for Team Falcons, which they're so good at.
Yeah. That's one thing that they learned the hard way from game one. They're investing in the map. They're investing in macro. That's why they picked up the Moscow first. They're saying, hey, Granger, Harith be damned, whatever. And they're now investing in range. And still macro, like you're still flying across the map with the wings by wings. So few ending up with the Farsa here, definitely a good amendment to what happened in game 1. Again, 0 burst. So now it's all the burst.
Yeah.
I get the range. I get what the Farsa is capable of, especially with the changes to her kit. But that's a vulnerable mid laner.
She's soft.
Soft, and she just stands there when she ults. You know, that's just prime target, I think, for ONIC at this moment. Especially they have so much dive. They have the Hilda, they have the Jawhead, and we're not even mentioning Kyrie right now on the Fanny.
Some tender love and care is going to be needed to be invested into Few if he wants to stay alive and get those early rotations. However, let's see what ONIC is going to do to finish off their composition here. To kind of wrap things up, it's going to be how... Oh, wow! They go for the Veil as well. Interesting options here.
Whoa.
It's not really zone control, but they've got burst out of the wazoo now. And even better yet, when it comes down to the Lords, the Turtles, these objective fights, it's going to be interesting to see how ONIC is going to play around it, with the final pick being in the high loss. Boys and girls, what are your opinions? We'll start with you, Eterna. What do you think about the compositions and who are you favoring more?
I mean, technically, there is a lot of CC coming in from Team Falcons with the Hylos now being picked up. It's good peel for the Farsa, and also they do still have it with Ogwin on the Cho. That should be a problem for both the Fanny and the Harith. So I do see a version of this composition where it can work, but
I guess
yeah, but you know,
I feel like the priorities have shifted. Now it's like, yes, we still are going for Few, but we also have to keep in mind FlapTZ, because the previous game, it could have gone really bad for us. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to your casters here. Once again, it's Leo and Eterna heading into the game.
thank you so much, Gideon. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you into game number 2 in this best of 3 for our second match on Stream A for the Mobile Masters here, Snapdragon Pro Series. As you can see, both teams are getting ready. Remember, we're at match point, and we saw earlier what FlapTZ was able to say in the interview, how this is such a high-stakes game. It's a revenge story through and through, and we're going to see whether or not Falcons can force a game number 3 over the Sky Kings.
From JB to Jakarta, Team Falcons have a chip on their shoulder, and it's not looking good. Oh my lord! Ogwin with the first blood drawn on the Suns. Damage reduction, allowing for Ogwin to survive. Few looking to punish Kyrie. Where'd that come from?
And Kyrie doesn't even get the hit either, so there's no trade back. That's Angie. That's Angie Ogwin.
Team Falcons is, I'm gonna teach you a Filipino word, Tagalog word. Say
What is it?
gigil.
Gigil.
Yeah, they're gigil right now.
Oh man, all right. So the early game pressure that we were thinking from the side of ONIC has been kind of overtaken by Team Falcons, and we should have saw it coming, right? Farsa and the Cho in the mid lane, really fast clear, really heavy engage as well, high mobility as well with the wings by wings. As we're also taking a look at the player emblems, we do see a lot of emphasis on movement speed coming in from Team Falcons, and maybe that's the change that we're going to be seeing from game number 1 to game number 2. They want that mid trio prio.
Yeah, a little more mobile, get into the fight even before it starts, get better positioning. That is Team Falcon's resolution here. Keyboy gets an ejector on a FLCN, intercepted by Kyrie. He gets one down, revenge kill for earlier. Now we're sitting at 1-1.
1-1, but that previous death was on Sans. So technically, Team Falcons has a little bit more, leeway to work with. Technically, it should help Team Falcons be able to get to a better EXP lead. Meanwhile, Ogwin already trying to punish Kyrie in the purple buff. Does he get it? Is a problem, but it's enough time for Team Falcons to set up for this neutral objective.
Yep. Falcons, first to the scene. Sans and Ryota answering back. This is turning into a 4v2. Not unless Kyrie has something to say. Feather Airstrike already popped by Few. Soft reset on the Turtle. Secured by FLCN. He gets out of dodge, dashing through that Y brush. Survives. Down goes Kyrie. Ogwin gets a kick and a kill. And the rest of ONIC back out.
Oh, it's
Sans gets taken down by Marco nonetheless.
This is an amazing start for Team Falcons right now. 3 kills on the board.
That was an SOD entry.
Exactly. Neutral objective take as well, and that's the beauty of the Moskov. Not only is it a great way to kind of hold your ground against assassins like the Fanny that's on the hands of Kyrie, but also the fact that you have a lot more global pressure to work with. And finally, we get to see Super Marco actually have an impact in the game, unlike what we saw from game number 1 when he was stuck on the Granger.
Early too. I think that's what huge key for Falcons is they want to move fast. They want to impact the map and get their game plan going much sooner than when the opponent can react. And now Ogwin forcing a kick and a full combo, taking down Keyboy. I don't think Keyboy was expecting Team Falcons to let out that much of a response.
Absolutely not.
That was punitive.
It's disgusting, right? The damage again on the Farsa is immense, and if they work around the fact that the Farsa is so vulnerable, but they play it in a skirmish like that and not in a pure 5v5, Team Falcons will be able to get a lot more value with the Farsa being picked up. And now we already see some rotations happening from Team Falcons into the top side. Savero needs to be careful. And here it is, that pressure in the mid lane back onto Ryota. So Ryota, Sans, and Keyboy, not as aggressive as we saw in game number 1.
And that's mainly because Team Falcons are so proactive. 3 kills up, a turtle up, 1 spawning now in the upper quarter. What's this Fanny to do, right? The next thing you know, I'm going to say now, is he's split pushing. Kyrie is just winning the long lane, and then he just jumps in, and, you know, it puts ONIC in a weird position. Oh, speaking of weird positions, Few bursted from 100 to 1 and forced the wings by wings out. Ouch.
That's definitely the potential of the kill pressure that Kyrie has. Wait a second, that's a flicker used. And they don't go for the engage. Now Few's caught low.
Yeah, Few knows his team needs him. Hides in that brush, asking, can you guys hold out? I have a feathered airstrike. There it is! Popping it onto Ryota. Glorious pathway by FLCN, deterring the entrance of ONIC. Savero takes down Ogwin. It's a man down, and Kyrie scores 1 for his team. That's a turtle and a kill for the Sky Kings.
That's the clapback here in the 5th minute of the game, just by Kyrie dishing out the damage onto Few.
Oh.
Because what?
Down bottom!
Oh!
That's what! Oh.
There it is!
Super Marco gets caught out by Kyrie. A free kill down bottom. Super Marco was just working on the turret. Come on!
That's a good break. That's a good break for Super Marco. Now caught in 1-1-1 in terms of that KDA. And this is the kill pressure that we were waiting for the Fanny to have.
What do you mean a good break?
Getting to that power spike as fast as possible. I would say, like, oh man, they didn't see that coming.
No, Keyboy here holding that orange brush. And Kyle Teasy, that's too much burst even for Suyo.
All right. Kyrie is actually holding on to only 1 item right now. So that's the damage he's already having just with the Heptases alone.
That's right. No, and that's how much Marco took to the face. And now he has to recover from that. And he's still holding on. He's still pushing it. Look at this down bottom. Marco falls again. And now Kyrie had some help. Ryota was there as an accomplice.
They're not letting it slide at all. They're going for more value. And look at Ryota being able to assist that, maybe a boost of confidence. Look how aggressive they are.
Oh, Glorious Pathway set in by FLCN. Kyle Teasy gets out of dodge. Feathered airstrike. Stopping them from retreating so fast. And now Ryota in trouble. Looking for that passive proc. No slows, no stuns. Ryota gets away.
They were able to take Keyboy down in that, re-engage coming from Team Falcons, but they were already able to trade it with a tower up top. Savero gets it.
It's a good deal.
It is. And it looks like despite Team Falcons holding on a lot more control in the early portion of the game, ONIC are definitely looking for opportunities too. They're not going down without a fight.
That's right. They won't have to wait till Kyrie can just farm the long lane. Keyboy picking up the anti-Keras here definitely should do some work, especially since he's going against Kyle Teasy. Feathered airstrike, compromised here by Savero, pushing Few out of that brush. Now Ogwin forced the flicker out, down to about 1 HP. FLCN, Glorious Pathway getting out of the Zaman Force, survives, but only for a second longer. Gets out of dodge. No kills for ONIC. Team Falcons happy with the final turtle take and a turret off cam.
So again, they're trading back and forth once again. A turret for a turtle, a kill for a turret. And Team Falcons were able to get the better out of it in this particular engage because they didn't waste too many resources as they took that objective take. And that was information as well that ONIC had, which is why we didn't see Kyrie going full ham into the members of Team Falcons. Despite them being on a relatively low amount of HP, we do see ONIC trading it for a turret in the bottom side, but that gets instantly traded back by Team Falcons there, as we saw earlier up on screen.
Wow. These teams are so in sync with what they're trying to do. Their cross-map plans that they're willing to trade for, that it happens within the second. Bottom lane for top lane, tier 2 for tier 1,
Yeah.
rotation for the buff, holding down these bushes. Look at that Ogwin, kicking Keyboy out, flushing him out, and Ryota backing up as well. This is a Lord spawning in the lower quarter. Question, is Kairi getting his purple? Is Falcons not attacking his purple?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Kyrie has been able to get his hands on the purple for a little bit. I don't think they've been able to find the right opening maybe into the enemy jungle. And
So
if
that's
we're-
good.
Oh, there it is. See?
Okay. So again, that's step one. As a Fanny, you secure your purple, and then you can talk business. That's why I guess ONIC is not so worried. Their fans watching all around the world. Eterna is not so worried.
I mean, that really? You know, despite everything that's going up on screen right now in the first 9 minutes of the game, Team Falcons are still holding on to the gold lead, 1,400. I know it's not too much, but the
Yeah.
problem is that gold lead is mostly being held in by Super Marco, who already has the Holy Trinity. And that's going to matter as now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to see the Lord back in action, and that is going to be a problem for ONIC.
Yep, they can't, the way they were in game one, just preemptively starting it. This is a Fanny we're talking about, so late entries are the way to go. Ogwin here, blasted by Savero. Ryota pushing him out of that brush, backing off, has to recall. I guess that's technically a man down. Few, feathered airstrike, pushing them out of Lord Dance range, and Ogwin holding his ground, refuses to recall. Doesn't want to get to his wounds tended like a real man, but now he eventually has to. Again, this fight cannot start without a flicker kick, and Ogwin wasn't ready for it.
Absolutely, and you could see the Super Marco was still busy in the top lane as well, still looking for that lane control in the far side of the map. That will, you know, kind of force ONIC to deal with it. So both of these teams don't really want to pull the trigger just yet. Few wings by wings. Okay, there was backup from Ogwin there.
They're so liberal with their skills. I mean,
Yeah.
they know because they control the map. They control the long lane bush, the river bush. They control the long lane. That's one thing. And look at this. Kyle Teasy secures the Lord. No problem. It's just Ryota threatening the kill.
So what's the call for ONIC now?
Okay, maybe eventually they go down to this. You see, Kairi just pushing the long lane, farming out, waiting until Savero's ready. But when is Savero ready? That's the question.
I would say that he is not. He's only on 2 items right now, only with the Starlium Scythe and the Feather of
Almost.
Heaven. He should be on the way to the Holy Crystal, but as soon as that Holy Crystal lands, it should be okay. They don't need the Divine Glaive just yet. I don't see too many anti-magic resist. I do see 2 Silence Robes on Ogwin as well as Flap TC, but other than that, no Athena Shield built in just yet.
How about Sato Gilak, the crazy one? How about
Gila
Suns?
Suns?
Yeah, he's been having a tough game, you know. 0-2-2. Oh my lord, feathered airstrike on a few. Ejected. He wasn't ready for that. He had to purify.
Aw, man, I mean, I guess despite everything about Suns and maybe we were wanting to get into his items, the fact that he has that knockup, the fact that he has so much CC and
It's
so much
enough.
tools, it's enough because everyone else can follow up, and that's few that gets bursted down.
Okay.
That's few, by the way.
Okay, I
Holy
get
Crystal.
it. I get it. There it is. I think it was a calculated trade. I mean, it's expensive, yes, but some things you just can't get a good deal on. Few was sacrificed so that Team Falcons could push mid. Look, they eventually got it. I think that was the price Falcons paid.
It is a permanent structure that they could utilize. A lot more map control, a lot more map pressure.
Ogwin pushed out. That definitely could have been a lethal kick if he committed the flicker. Did not just yet. Flapped easy with the glorious pathway. Team Falcons with dominant movement on the map because, again, they have all the incentive to be as proactive as they could.
They're still holding on their ground. They're asphyxiating ONIC for the moment. They haven't been able to look for an opportunity.
Choking, right?
Savero goes in for, oh, wait a second, Ogwin.
Oh, Lord Keyboy! Down to a 5th! All from Super Marco's basics!
That's it. That's the Holy Trinity at work, right? Corrosion Scythe, you have the Golden Staff, and you also have the DHS. Plus, he has a lot more, you know, tools to play with. He has the Wind of Nature now.
Rose Gold on the way.
That's the big kicker here. Because with so much magic damage, so much burst coming from ONIC, that Rose Gold is a problem.
He's gonna be better in the paint, as the kids say. He's gonna be better at these trading moments, team fights that last a little longer. Does that mean Savero has to invest in he's on his way to a concentrated energy.
Yeah.
So he wants to match Marco.
But it's going to take him a little bit more time. And that's why there's a lot more emphasis on Kyrie, right? Wind of Nature built in first rather than the Rose Gold Meteor, because he's definitely appreciating and respecting the kill pressure that Kyrie has.
It's more eminent.
Exactly.
It literally could come from any direction.
360. No scope.
No scope. Pro gamer moves. Literally, this is the best of the best in the business right now in action. Kyle Teasy and Super Marco in the pit.
Uh-oh, Ryota?
Catching Ryota. Can they finish the job? Ryota gets away with it. Lord now at half health. Lord Dance continues.
And he can afford it just a little bit, right? It does take him time to catch up in terms of that HP, but he should be able to be a-okay pristine condition. Savero, though, not okay.
Oh, dear God. Savero gets knocked up. Forced to summon force defensively. And now Keyboy gets caught with a charge Quella. SOD, no one home. But this is a go signal. Green light go. Team Falcons blitzing the Lord.
All resources wasted as well from the side of ONIC, so they're not nearly as prepared. What was Savero doing in that push?
It's a weird angle.
Oh, Team Falcons, you can't make mistakes like this against this team. They will punish, they will capitalize, and they will now have the Lord on the way for the airstrike just to zone the members away from ONIC, so they will be able to get that turret in that mid lane.
Yep, Lord will be marching down the bot in about 3 seconds from now. And Falcons are going to be synchronizing these waves. They're freezing the rest, so it all comes crashing down at the same time. Looking at Savero's items right now, there's the concentrated energy, short of one more.
I wonder what his last item will be. Is he gonna go
DG?
full cannon Divine Glaive? Glass cannon build?
Or...
Something safer. I mean, that should be Divine Glaive.
yeah, then he can just sell his boots for like an Oracle if he needed a little extra.
That's true. That's true. But either way, Savero should be at his power spike, but we do see Athena Shields building through, so they desperately need that Divine Glaive. Can ONIC defend this one?
It comes down to choosing your battles. Again, they'll have to lose something, and that something is that tier 1, 3 down bottom. Next up is the second in mid. Glorious Pathway already spent up. Salmon Force as well. Savero dashing through. Ogwin gets his immortality popped here. Flapteezy holding the line, and the rest of Team Falcons get out of here. Gets blown to pieces by Gilasans. Ogwin has fallen. Kyrie compromised. Kyrie gets taken down. Fade away spears from Super Marco, and the fight disperses. Ryota don't want none. Feathered airstrike from Few. Let me finish.
Oh man, that's a 1-for-1 trade. I wouldn't say it was as worth it, right? I mean, it was already a really great ejector coming in through Keyboy, so they can go on, damage control. But did they really have to go for that extra pick coming in from ONIC?
And they lost out such a key hero too. It's Kyrie for Ogwin. That's how mad they were. That's how, I guess you could say, desperate they were for something on the clapback, on the return. Because it's been so long since they actually won anything in this 16-minute game.
Absolutely, and now things are going a lot more interesting for ONIC, right? Savero does have the Divine Glaive, so the damage should be there, but the main problem is, sure, Savero, you can catch up on these items, but if you position improperly like you did before...
you can't buy good positioning.
Exactly.
I can have 1,000,000 gold and still stand in front of y'all and get kicked in the face.
And that's exactly it, right? Savero really needs to think about it. Savero needs to be put in a position where he can be in the team fight long enough for him to dish out the damage that ONIC severely needs, because we know that Super Marco now, with an additional item, by the way, he's on Malefic Gun, so a lot more range that he can work with, can play around these team fights a lot longer with more DPS to give.
And that's not even considering the macro aspect. Marco has just been with the team this whole time, and now they're blitzing it. Falcons are going hunting. Kyle D secures the Lord. The kick finds one. It's Ryota out of commission. Glorious Pathway set in. SOD on the Kyrie. Marco presses it. Spear of Misery to the wall. Down goes Saz. Down goes Keyboy. Savero and Kyrie left. Salmon Force set in, but there's only so much he can do. Savero down. Double kill for Marco. Kyrie left. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wipeout. Triple kill for Marco. We're going to game 3.
Dear Lord, 1-1 the current scoreline. Both teams seem to not want to give up in any capacity as